I bet you didn't think a cowboy could show you how to make sushi. How to show you make the easiest sushi of all. Well, I'm going to. I am. Ooh-wee, it is so easy. None of the fancy tools are required. Only parchment paper. Come on, I'm gonna go to Rollins. Whew, this is probably one of the windiest, driest springs I ever remember. I even got the pickup truck over here blocking the wind, have to get Dukes set in the back seat just to hold it down. They thought we was going somewhere. But what are we talking about? Sushi, my most favorite food in the world. And where did I get it first off that I ever had it? A truck stop, north of Reno, Nevada. Shan said, whoa, hold up, no! You cannot get sushi at a truck stop. Well, folks, I'm fixing to show you how to make it without all the fancy gadgets. This is Cowboy style, and you're going to be surprised and shocked, and it is oh so delicious. Star of the show? What is it? Not the Major, not the Beagle, not Kent. No, it is rice. What are we talking about? Short grain rice, sticky rice. And hey, we just did a rice video not too long ago where we showed you the perfect way to cook rice. That is the method that I use today. Most important thing that you can do, rinse the rice. You see how cloudy that water was when we added it to that bowl? I rinsed it how many times? 7. 7 times before the water cleared up. Make sure you stir it around with your fingers really well, but also we got to get all that starch off there. It's going to keep that rice the way we need it. You can buy small grain, short grain rice, something like that, but look what it says right here. Rice Select Sushi Rice. It's even got the directions on the back, but I wouldn't go by them. I'd watch Kent Rollins' video. We doubled the recipe up today because remember, we're making 2 rolls. We are. We need to season that rice, and a lot of folks are going to tell you when you get this rice and you let it cool a minute, go ahead and stick it in the ice box to where it is really cold and chilled. That's not the way that I have learned to do it. The way that I have learned to do it is let it just sort of cool off to room temperature, just sitting there. And you have what? Sticky rice. We need to make sure that it has some rice wine vinegar. Yes, see it right here? Rice vinegar. That's what we're talking about. The rice vinegar plays a very important part here, it does. It's going to help with any stickiness too that might have a little of that starch left on there. Sort of get that bacteria really coated really well. And bacteria is not a bad thing in rice, it ain't. That is 3, I think. And I don't want you just to pour it. That's 3. Yeah. This is 4.
Yeah.
Now, I like a little sugar in mine, so we're going to go ahead and sprinkle this in there. Don't take much, it don't. So give it
there?
A little bit of salt. Yes, I did, from the Morton people. Now, make sure when you're seasoning that rice, and I want Shan to get on in here and let her see this, that you sort of in a way fold it in, but make sure you chop any clumps that might have been trying to stick together, because that's what this needs, is to make sure it is really blended well and really seasoned well. I like to taste it because if it's too sour, you can add a little sugar. If you think it's too sweet, pour a little more vinegar in it. Just make sure you stir it. Get it like you want it, and then we're just going to set it aside till we get to the rest of the sushi making. The veggies we be using today, green onion, cucumber, and jalapeno and avocado. Now, the green onion, everybody usually just wants to dice right off the end of them. I like to turn them long ways, split right down the middle of the top of that onion, and then come back and dice through there. Everything's going to be a little smaller, tinier bite. Now, for the cucumber, go ahead and slice her out there, get the peeling off of it. And remember, when you look back at the top of that cucumber, you're going to see the seed rim in there, the little core of it. It's like cleaning a pineapple. For sushi, we need just the outside edge strips of that. Slice it all the way around, and you can cut it in little thin strips. Jalapeno, take the seeds and the stem out. Be careful not to scratch your butt nor your eyes. You will remember it. And then the avocado, we're just going to slice in half in a minute. I'm going to show you how to use it. I'm using smoked salmon. I pick it up at a lot of times Walmart, Costco, Sam's, like that. And it's so tasty, so good, and so good for you. And then I just buy the cooked shrimp that's already peeled, deveined, and everything. Give them a little soaking in some of that fabulous W sauce, that Worcestershire, where's your sister, whatever kind of sauce you want to call it. Just dice them up pretty fine. Everybody is in place. From the veggies, the salmon, the shrimp, we are ready to go to making sushi. Well, I'm just going to tell you, to make sushi, if you look it up on the computer, what's it going to come up to? Seaweed wrapper. How far are we from the sea, Shan?
A long way.
And where do we gonna find some seaweed wrapper?
Amazon? I have no idea.
If I went to the grocery store and said, y'all got a seaweed wrapper, they'd say, we got a plastic bag if that'll do you some good. And then you'd be thinking, I be needing a bamboo roller. What are we talking about? This ain't something we're gonna do yoga on the floor with. I don't know nothing about none of this stuff. Take 3 weeks to get it, and I'm wanting some sushi. What does it entail? You need some kind of rectangular device really to start with. I'm gonna use that cutting board. Here it is, folks.
Here we go. This will be interesting.
In the wind, at least it is not cling wrap.
Yeah.
So, roll you a piece out there that's about as long.
What do you got?
I got parchment paper. And if we can find out how to cut it. Lou, hang on to that, would you? Now, for the time being, right now, the wind is going to blow. I'm going to tuck it right under there so it'll be sort of like that. Well, we just will tuck this other end too, because things are going to happen. Seaweed wrappers, I did check. They like 7 by 8. Oh my gosh, I knowed it was going to be one of them days. I did. So we may have to get the duct tape out. Just reach in here and get you about, I'd say a little bigger than, let's just put it between a golf ball and a tennis ball. You want to, Shan?
Let me see that.
So I would think maybe even like a pool ball. Layer right here in the middle, okay? That is where we're going to start. Just go to mashing that around. Keep your fingers moistened, because that way your hands ain't going to be sticking to your rice. And try to just get this patted out to where you can push it around and everybody's going to be there. We're going to stay about 1 inch off both sides. And we're going to start off with the base layer being what? Salmon. Now, I'm not going to go directly in the middle. I'm going to go a little more maybe off this side just a tad. Because remember, we're going to roll that, trim that edge off. So you want to make sure that everybody gets in there and there's plenty of room. So this guy's looking like he gonna hang out the end, but we will catch him here in just a minute. Now comes the time for the softened cream cheese. Buy the whipped cream cheese, okay? And just take a little on your knife, and I just want you to spread it right there across the salmon. Cucumber. Don't lay him right in the middle of that fish. Sort of put him on both sides. Now you could come back with any other vegetable that you might want or you think you needed in your sushi and put on there. But hey, only thing that we really like on this now is what? Some green onion, as Justin Wilson would say. Sprinkle them right down the middle here, but you got to be careful, and it happens to me too, and this may be one of the times. You get more in your sushi roll than you can roll up, and you go to busting your rice open. So be careful not to thinking, hey, I'm going to put this much meat in there. Ain't going to happen, folks. So just space these out accordingly to where you think there'll be a piece of shrimp in every slice. Take your parchment paper, if you can get it out from here. I'm gonna go ahead and just cut this right here at the edge of that block. And it's been wanting to do this all day, so I'm just gonna let it go. Now, when you take this, pull it up, you can see how it's coming to you. Just keep pulling, keep pulling, keep pulling. Roll it, don't just tuck it under. Roll it plumb over till you think it's gonna meet that rice. And then just go to mashing, okay? Roll a little more, keep mashing. Roll a little more, keep mashing. Roll a little more and keep on mashing. That ought to be a song. Roll a little more and keep on mashing. Now, right here when you get to this point, go ahead and cut them. You can see these ends are straggling out here. So I'm just going to go ahead, cut through paper and all. We're going to square them ends up. Just give them a little pat. You may want to wet your fingers. Go back over here. If you want to say, I don't know where it's at, I can't see it. Just wrinkle it up till you can find it right there on the end. Go ahead and cut it. Roll it on out of the way. Wet them little fingers. Tamper back in there. Pull it to here. This is what we call the excess, okay? Move this to the side.
This is a good little trick here.
Let's see if we can get this off.
Oh my gosh.
Look what the Cowboy has done.
It's a sushi roll.
Yes, it is. Now, we're going to come back later after this chills. What? You want to eat it now? Folks, I have found out since it's not a bamboo roller, and I want you to look in here. Look at the goodness, get out of the way, that we have created in there.
That's pretty.
It is going to be some fine dining, it is. I like to chill this before I go any further. But before I go any further, we have toasted some sesame seeds for what? They go on top of here. I toasted them in my little cast iron skillet I did right here. And I just need you to sprinkle right over the top here, just gently and gingerly. And then we're going to mash them one more time with our good sushi rolling paper. Hey, don't tell me how many job offers I'm going to get at sushi restaurants now, Shan. Give it a little mashing right there at the first, where we get all them sesame seeds incorporated, and then just roll it back over the top. One more good squeezing, one more good tamping. The reason I like to let this chill is when you go to slice that, sometimes it wants to tear up right on the instant, because remember what? We don't have the seaweed wrapper. Not going to have it. No, we're not. So you can just roll this up just like this, put it on a plate, stick it in the fridge, and just let it chill for about 30 minutes. So off to the fridge I go.
How'd you get up there? Hey, how'd you get up there? What are you doing? No, get out!
Yeah, for the cowboy, give it up. The cowboy has created sushi all the way around. Y'all was doubting it, wasn't you? I could see you being all skeptical out there thinking, cowboy don't know nothing about sushi. Cowboy can teach you some things about a lot of things. Now, you seen me put this second one together. It's what I call a meat lover's deal. It is. We added some tuna to the mix, some avocado, put it on top. See me whip up that sauce, which really is just some honey mustard, little bit of soy sauce, some brown sugar. It is so good. Squeeze her right over the top there. Now, you can see how that sliced up so easy. Now, the number one thing, sharp knife. Gotta have sharp knife to do this. Number two, most important thing is water. Now, you've seen me every time reach over there, wet that knife, clean it really well, sprinkle water back on top, slice it. Every time do that. Don't forget, because when you drag just a dry knife through that rice, it's going to crumble on you. Always make sure it is sharp, clean, and wet before you go back through there and slice.
I got a surprise. We don't have chopsticks, so I found 2 straws. You gotta use them. No, you gotta use them. I know that's not your favorite.
I don't even know how to use chopsticks, so...
See how they... Well, that's pretty good. Yeah.
Hola.
Got some on your chin.
Praise the Lord. You don't have to pass the biscuits, Lord, this time. Just keep passing me out some of that sushi. I feel like kung fu fighting. He was kung fu fighting. I know y'all are thinking, all of my loyal subjects here, why we didn't get no tuna, why we didn't get no salmon. Well, I had some sliced, put back over here on top over here, and what? We come back and who was up there eating all the goodness? It was the bee. There is nothing he can't get into. So to make y'all think that you ain't feeling all left out, I do have you a little treat. Sade, would you like yours? Good girl. Mage, can you reach yours? Can you reach that? Duker, I can't even see you. Duker, Duker, where you at? Duker.
He doesn't know what's happening.
There. Here, Sade, have another one just in case. Folks, you probably thought this was going to be really hard to make. It's really simple. It's really easy. Get the kids in there with you. Put anything in there you want. I mean, you can add carrots. You can add whatever you want. Just make it to where it's a family deal. You don't have to have the fancy equipment to do all this. You can do it right there at home because the Cowboy showed you how. Everything we use today will be listed down there in the little link below. And I'm going to ask you a favor, hadn't done this in a while. I need you to be sure and share the videos, like the videos, because we need to spread the goodness that the Cowboy can cook sushi all around the world. So as always, it has been a great pleasure. We are so glad that you let us into your living room, your dining room, in the truck, wherever you might be watching our videos. We never take it for granted. As always, I tip my hat to all our servicemen and women and all the veterans who have kept that old flag flying back there. We salute you all, we do. Rest of you, come on in here. You know what time it is. Time for the big old hug. God bless you one and all, and I'll see you down the Cowboy Can Make Sushi Better Than Anybody trail. Come here today, and guess what? We're gonna back up. Oh, he got up here and eat the bites I had laid out.
Okay, so say that.
Okay, well, if you really be liking this homemade sushi video, you might want to check out our egg fried rice. Oh my gosh, it is so good and tasty with a great sauce, but also a beef sushi we did a long time ago. Be sure and check them both out. You won't be disappointed.